My name is Neal Patel and I'm a lead compositor from London. I've been compositing now for around about 9 years, and previous to compositing I was working in graphics and motion graphics for TV. I started my VFX career in around 2011 compositing at Sky, and I started out there as a junior compositor working on some of their promos, idents and title sequences, and initially assisting the compositors and flame ops, before eventually being given my own shots to work on. I left around 2015 and to try my hand at freelancing, as I just wanted to get a bit more experience in TV and film. And it ended up being one of the best decisions I'd made, as I'd learned so much moving around from company to company, both big and small. During my freelancing time I got to work on projects such as Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Solo, A Star Wars Story, Black Mirror, Outlander, Fortitude, and a few other films such as Nice Guys, Captive State, and I even got to work on Teletubbies. In 2018 I moved to Union Visual Effects, where I worked on Mamma Mia 2 before being offered a full-time role as one of the lead compositors there. And while I was there I worked on The Crown, The Two Popes, and I was given a chance to do some supervisory work on Outlander Season 4 and 5, and a really fun gory TV show on Netflix called Happy. You should check it out. I most recently joined Territory Studios as one of the lead compositors, where I've been for around about 6 months now, working on some interesting projects there. Since I was a child, I've always been interested in film and cinema, and I still remember my first experience at the cinema, where I was taken to see Who Framed Roger Rabbit. VFX has always been interesting to me, and I've always wanted to know how things are made. I compare it a bit to a magic trick, where you see something amazing, it's almost human nature to want to know how it was done. For me this was the same with visual effects, so I started to learn. Growing up watching films like Terminator 2, Jurassic Park and The Matrix were big influences, and it further drove my passion for wanting to learn about the industry. I always wanted to work in TV and film, so I'd done a multimedia course at university which covered all aspects of it, such as video editing, sound editing, Photoshop, After Effects, and being such a varied course it really helped me narrow down what I really wanted to do. There are lots of positives and negatives in the industry, but I think you can say that about most industries you work in. For the positives, you get to see your work on the big screen, and how many other industries can say this? You get to work with skilled, talented and like-minded people, and it's a job where you can learn something new every day, no matter what skill level you're at. But I think the most important thing is the work is fun. A lot of people really don't enjoy what they work, so this is a big bonus. As for the negatives, there can be long hours, deadlines can be tight, and you could be on a shot for a long time with small incremental changes, but that just makes it more satisfying when that shot gets finalled. I think overall, the positives outweigh the negatives, and I believe there's a lot worse ways of making a living. I think the main problem that's faced in the visual effects industry is the race to the bottom. Companies are underbidding or overpromising on shots in order to win further work. Not only does the artist suffer, as they suddenly have a 7-day shot that needs to be done in 3 days, but from a business perspective, the company does not make as much money as it should. Another issue I can see is that it can be a profession where it can be difficult to grow in your career. This is due to the nomadic nature of the industry. Artists are often given short-term contracts, so are chasing work, and when moving around so much it makes it difficult to grow and develop within a single company. I think machine learning software will be the next big thing in the near future. I think for our department this would mean increased productivity for tasks such as roto and cleanup. Improved feature recognition in plate would also help speed up things like tracking and making cameras in comp. Here are my top 5 tips for spreading positivity in VFX. Number 1. It's really simple, but I think the most important, just share your knowledge. If you learn a really cool new technique or find a really useful tool, just share it with your peers. Number 2. Check out Access VFX. They are a non-profit organisation that encourages diversity within visual effects, and with 40 of the leading visual effects companies involved. They offer mentorships to students who can connect with artists in the industry and can give help and advice. Number 3, if you're a senior, just help out a junior artist. Give them your time and remember you were once a junior too. Number 4 is try out new things. It can be new techniques, new looks, new tools, but experiment. It may not always work, but you won't know until you try. And finally, number 5, never stop learning. Visual effects is an industry which allows you to be continually growing. There's always something to learn, to research, and to be inspired by. I know I said I was going to give you 5 tips, but I'm just going to add one more to the list, and that's just be nice. Don't be the guy who has his headphones on in the office all day. Talk to people. You don't want to be the person who no one wants to approach. Most jobs in my experience have come from recommendations. So if people enjoy working with you, they are more likely to recommend you to companies in the future. Thank you.